I, male 27, found out my wife, 25 female, has been cheating on me online with a young guy, 18 male, and I also just heard he's had conversations with our kids as well on voice call doing impersonations of Sebastian the Crab from The Little Mermaid and gave my daughter a nickname. She first started talking to this guy last year when he was 17 and my wife 24. She became withdrawn, would let a lot of things slide, lose interest in her hobbies, the household, the kids, her friends, me. She admitted to me in tears that she had started chatting a guy from Omegle one night when bored. They had exchanged contact details. She made a Snapchat just for him, and so did he. They began chatting there regularly. This guy is handsome. He's young. He's an athlete, and he's fit as can be. He's funny. He's awesome. He mesmerizes her. Makes her laugh all the time. She finds herself falling for him, and she admits her mistake to me. I am so sad and upset, but I forgive her. She promises to block him. Remove her app. Things are cool for a while, but months later I find out she still has Snapchat. She says it's for her other friends. I push the issue. Turns out she still talks to the guy. I am not okay with this. She says they're just friends. I tell her to block his. She says she does. Around December last year I discovered she never did block him. Still talks to him. I am so mad. I break into her phone one day, see her Snapchat open and a message from him. I love you, it says. Scroll up more and see a picture of my own wife's breasts staring me in the face. She sent him her for his birthday. Once more she blocks the guy. I think things are fine, but I am starting to lose my feelings for my wife. One time around Christmas, my oldest daughter tells me, excitedly, that she had a phone call with Sebastian the Crab. Like the buddy of Ariel the Little Mermaid from the Disney movie. I shrug it off. I mean, 40-year-olds make shit up all the time, right? And she has a very rich imagination. She constantly insists she's a real fairy or princess and claims to have magic powers and whatever. I find out just yesterday that my wife never stopped talking to the guy until this past February, when he suddenly ghosted her out of nowhere. Which makes sense because she was very sad and depressed at the time. She then deleted all her apps and accounts in anger, and now has no way of contacting the guy or being contacted by him. Not sure if I even believe that anymore, but sure, she was sharing all she did to me. Like she wanted it off her chest. I just let her talk, and she admits to it all. Says she really fell in love with him. Mentions how she read a lot on Quora about polyamory. Quora is her Bible. And that she feels like she can love multiple people at once. That her love for me has not diminished by loving another guy. I call then. She admits she even had voice calls with the guys at night when I am away. I often work night shift. At times our oldest daughter would wake up and he talked to her too. He sang her to sleep a few times. And he pretended to be Sebastian the Crab, which is what my daughter tried to tell me. She tried to tell on her mama, I think, but I shrugged it off. I am so insanely angry she would allow herself, as a grown woman, to fall for some boy on the other side of the globe. I am feeling betrayed by the fact that she showed her body to him. What makes me the most mad, however, is that he talked to my daughter. He even saw her picture in a video. He called her Little Dua, like the singer Dua Lipa, because he thinks she looks like a toddler version of that singer. The whole thing is so creepy. The fact that he was just 17 when my wife and him met online is creepy to me. The fact that she allowed him to talk to our firstborn daughter. It's all messed up. I fear she may have wanted to run off with the guy. She's talked a lot about the place he lives, California, and I'm just weirded out by that too. Don't know what to do. I'm heartbroken. My wife and I have a daughter, 4, another daughter, 2, and she is currently pregnant as well. She blames some of her behavior on pregnancy hormones, which is nonsense. She also tried to subtly push polyamory on me as well. I'm so done with her. But I also love our daughters and do not want them to grow up in a broken home. She's come back to normal in some sense. She does her hobbies, she cares for the kids, and runs the household as before. She is sweet to me at times. We make love often. But most of the time, as much as it pains me to say, I feel nothing. I'm 27 years old. I felt last year that I had it all. I felt on top of the world. Now I feel like I already lost it. Story 2. This has to be the most devastating thing to ever happen to me. Starting mid to late last year, I could tell my wife was acting differently towards me. She had a much shorter temper and would be somewhat hostile towards me for the littlest things. It was obvious that things were not right. I cannot say exactly how I caught her cheating on me, but I found out kind of by chance, and there was no question as to what was happening. This technically was not the first time it had happened either. Back in 2018, she had this friend from work, I'll call her TT, would often come over and hang out with us after work and on the weekends. T was also it got to the point where T became our girlfriend, and we would regularly all sleep together. It was fun, but my wife and T developed strong feelings towards each other, and it became obvious that that was happening. I knew and had even told my wife that things weren't going to end well when we had to split up. When it got to the point where I felt I was being excluded, I couldn't take it anymore and told my wife to break it off or at least stop being intimate with T when I was not there. She still did at least one more time after that, and I found out. That's when I told her that she had to break it off completely. That eventually did happen, but I know maybe it was because it was another woman that I didn't feel so threatened, or that I knew that this person couldn't provide for her the way I could, or that I feel like she couldn't ever truly be with her due to her conservative family. That was all kidding myself, I now believe. After she had broken it off, my wife and I had an intense talk about all of it. She told me about issues she had with me in our relationship, and I said I was more than happy to work on those things. But if she was not happy in our relationship, that now was the time for us to end as well. She said that she really wanted to be with me and wished to continue being married. We went on to buy a house and build our relationship pretty strongly, I had thought. Fast forward a couple of years to 2021, and I discover that she has been having an affair with a coworker who is significantly older than her. A woman who is married with children, and who's purportedly a doctor. I'm in a condition of complete and utter devastation. Just utterly and utterly sad. Whenever I confront her, she doesn't say anything to me. She just sits there in a state of catatonia. It takes her days just to conjure up the courage to apologize. She eventually explains what occurred and why it happened. She tells me all kinds of things that make me even more depressed, such as that she has never felt an emotional connection to me, that she despises our home and the neighborhood where we live, that she doesn't believe we are a good match, that she is too sensitive for me, and so on. These kinds of things completely astound me. I also discover that she has a strong affection for this individual. It's as if someone is stabbing my heart with a hot iron right in the middle of it. I later learned from her that I frequently made her feel stupid about things that she wanted, and that I had alienated her to some extent as a result of this. I feel terrible for having done all of these things, and many of them are certainly things that I had done, but she never informed me of these actions until now. I was never given the opportunity to make things right with those I had wronged. I can even recall particular instances in which I inquired as to whether or not she was content, and she never gave me any hint that this was not the case. I can state categorically that I never mistreated her in any kind. I believed I had done a decent job of caring for her and loving her. I was wrong. After the original confrontation, the guy sends me a long, rambling apologies text that is difficult to follow. It's clear that this person is a one-trick pony. As a result, I'm beginning to doubt that my wife would be attracted to someone like this in the first place. I pleaded with her to return to me, to stop what she was doing, and to work on our relationship. She refused. She comes back after 4 or 5 days of being kicked out and says she wants to reconcile and that she had broken it off with this person. Again, she does not sound convincing in the slightest. In fact, she sounds angry with me when she tells me all of this as if I had been the one to do something wrong. All I wanted at this point was to have my wife back. So, very badly. So I kid myself and say that everything is going to be fine, but I know it's not. I even text this guy to confirm that things had been ended and to say that if anything continued that I was leaving. He responds by saying it had, but I had no reason to believe him. Again, just total from this guy and pretty much confirming he's a liar. Over the next weeks, the same behavior continues. So I confront her yet again and tell her that it's for real and the divorce is proceeding. In our talk since then, she says that she still loves me very much and that she will miss me when she's gone. It's the weirdest thing to hear from someone that treats you so contrary to that. It's been an absolutely harrowing experience that I don't think I'll ever get out of my mind. I simply cannot reconcile how someone could love two people at once like that. My heart simply couldn't be able to do that. I feel like there will be so many things from this experience that I will never be able to comprehend. All I'm left with is so much regret and lament. I will truly miss the relationship I thought I had, and I don't think anything will ever feel the same. I do not believe that this is hyperbole in the slightest. I really, really love this person, and I feel completely lost. My main takeaways and advice are to be very sure that your partner is taken care of and really try make sure they're heard. I hope you'll take this as a cautionary tale and learn from the mistakes that were made.